Summer Scouting QBs, hitting 6 through 10 here of the official with the first pick aggregate rankings. And number 6, Jalen Milroe. Worth noting, Jalen did not make Mike's list. And Rick, you had Jalen ranked 6th, and I had Jalen ranked 4th. So, Rick, I'll start with you. And you know Jalen a little bit from your time at Alabama. What are your thoughts on him as a person and a leader? And we've heard Terry Arnold talk about him when we had him at the Combine. And then, of course, what you expect for him in terms of getting better from 2023 to 2024.
Yeah, no, I think this kid has a lot of upside. He got benched last year early in the season. He was another kid that I really struggled with early in the season about him playing quarterback. There's no question that this guy can throw the ball down the field. He has more than enough arm talent. I do have some issues with his accuracy at times. I think he got better when he got reinserted as the starter. I was just down there this past Monday, a week ago, from when we recorded this, and they say he has tremendously improved his footwork in the pocket, which was an issue. And so with Coach DeBoer coming in there and what they did with Michael Penix, I'm anxious to see if they can do the same magic. From a leadership standpoint, this kid is as A+ across the board. Even when he got benched, it would have been easy for him to just shut it down. But he took it in stride, and he worked harder once he got benched, and that's why he had the success he had when he came back. Is he there yet? No. But I'm anticipating, from what I've heard from people down there, that the spring ball, that he's really taken another step forward as far as he does have the athletic skill set. There's no question about that. But I do think that he's going to take another step forward as a quarterback and not just an athlete. And so I am pretty high on him right now. A lot of it I'm going to be biased too because of what people have told me on how he's developed down there this spring.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on him too. And you talked about it, Rick. The first third of the season, it was hard to watch that offense because it was sputtering, especially in the pass game. And you sort of touched on it, but I mean, he's electric as a runner, and he gives you that Jaden Daniels versatility, but he's built like a tank. So there's maybe fewer concerns. I don't know. You don't want to take hits, but he's a much bigger body. Senior Bowl director Jim Nagy tweeted this out the other day when he was on the sidelines when Jahmyr Gibbs was there. A scout said, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs was the second fastest player on this team. And Jim said, who's first? And Jalen Milroe was the answer. So we know he has a little juice in the run game. I thought he got better as a passer. He needs to continue to improve. We know he can throw the ball 80 yards, which is fun. I know that's your favorite drill at the Combine when Joe Milton threw the ball.
Sit back there for 7 seconds and then let us just throw the ball, because that's everything. You're going to have 7 seconds in an NFL pocket. So I love that drill.
That's how I judge first-round talent. So Joe Milton was 1-1 for me because of that, but you felt differently. We'll see if that plays out. But Jalen Milroe, for me, Mike, and I know you didn't have him on your list. I want to hear why. I think the potential is what's so intriguing about him. And as Rick noted, how do you feel about the idea of seeing how Kalen DeBoer and Michael Penix Jr. worked together the last few years and how that might translate for Jalen here at Tuscaloosa?
No, I'm not putting like that development off the market at all. Like if he makes a leap, I could see it. Like the talent is obvious with him, whether it's as an athlete, as a runner, as a mover, or just with his arm. His highlight reel, his high-end throws, you put up right up there with anyone else in this draft class. He has that special ability, but how he plays quarterback right now is just so far and away different from what he's going to have to do in the NFL. I've not seen a guy who does not play from the pocket the way he does. I think it was like over a quarter of his dropbacks last year, he didn't even throw a pass, right? They're either scrambles, he's getting sacked because he holds onto the ball to the bitter end there in that offense, but there's just really no semblance of a drop back portion to his game right now. And I just think that's going to be hard to develop, even with the coaching staff they're bringing over there, even if he, gets more seasoning in it. So I'm a little, I truthfully right now, kind of like Joe Milton last year, I'd be higher on him if he switched to wide receiver or running back. I just think the dynamism that he possesses is more valuable elsewhere at this moment in time, just if I'm running an NFL team.
Hey, Rick, let me ask you this. Michael Penix Jr. was a different player in Indiana. Injuries probably necessitated to change the way he played. Can Jalen Milroe do more Michael Penix Jr. in the future, or is that going to be tough to sell?
Well, not the way Michael Penix Jr. did at Washington, even over the last 2 years. And I don't know if he can make that big a leap. But, the one question that I asked while I was down there, and I agree, he's not very good in the pocket. And he's like a deer in headlights at times trying to get through his progressions. But they really emphasized his footwork and the ability to not just like, okay, if it's not there, I'm going to scramble outside to the left or right and use my athletic ability. It's step up in the pocket, and if one's not there, go to two. And I think that, and I didn't see the spring tape, but I'm going to go off of the reports coming out down there that I think he will take that next step as a pocket passer because he checks all those other boxes. I think sometimes, though, pocket passers and guys getting through their progressions and getting through quickly is a little bit more of an instinct. And I don't know if this is an instinctual thing with a kid, but if he can click with this offense that they're going to run down there, and they say, wow, how he's improved in the pocket and improved with his footwork, that I'm going to take the leap of faith on him and say he's going to make the jump.
No, I get it. All right, Rick. Draft range, comp, and I don't know if you have one, Mike. If not, don't worry about it. I got mine. It'll be a home run. But Rick, start things off.
You sit down because you're going to really love this one.
All right, let me get my seat. I'm sitting.
I made my comp the Malik Willis. What I've seen.
Why do you hate Jalen Milroe?
I know you were the Malik Willis bandwagon guy.
Geez, that's Pete Prisco propaganda. But go ahead.
So I'm going to say I saw some Malik Willis in him.
I get it.
Because I didn't think Malik was great in the pocket, and he got through his progressions. And that's showing up here in the NFL as well, where he needs to get through his reads and progressions quicker. But I saw, some of the arm talent because I thought Willis can throw the ball. There was no question about the arm talent. It was all the other things that go along playing quarterback. So I had him right now with my rose-colored glasses. I'm not going to put him in the Hall of Fame yet, like Mike has done with some of these guys, the Kurt Warner. But I will put him in right now the third round.
No, I get it. So your comp is actually better than my comp. I'm sure that surprises you.
No, really? Shocking.
And I'm going to preface this because if I say the name, you'll just not listen to the rest of my comment, my explanation. So I'm going to preface this with before this player transferred, this player was still a better.
We're making excuses before you even say it. Go ahead. Here it goes, Mike.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats. Forget it. I almost said a bad word here. Jalen Hurts is my comp. He took the earpiece off. He's left the set. So here's the thing. Jalen Hurts before Oklahoma was still a better passer at Alabama, obviously. He got benched for Tua at one point. But I think athletically and what he does with his legs in much the same way that Riley Leonard was the Jalen Hurts comp for Mike, the athletic part of it. Now, Jalen's a better passer now by miles, but he improved. And I want to see that improvement from Jalen Milroe. The other thing we talked about was maybe Anthony Richardson, but I think Anthony Richardson was better as a passer coming out too.
Okay, here, Mike, I usually get this, and I haven't had to bring this out. But
let's go.
Ryan Wilson, I really appreciate all the hard work and effort you put into your comps. Even though I may not agree with them, I do appreciate how much work you put into this podcast. Thank you, Rick Spielman.
Thank you very much.
Did your therapist make you write that?
No, the producers do, because all the people that listen to the podcast think I'm the bad villain guy, and he makes out to be the good
Why
guy.
would they think that?
I don't know. It's amazing, and then everybody gets into like, oh, poor Ryan, and yeah,
exactly. You have any thoughts, Mike, on who you might compare him to?
Yeah, I trend towards like that first year of Malik Willis at Liberty. A lot of the same stuff where it's just like, man, you see a lot of good, but he's so far away from being able to manage a pocket that you don't know if it's ever going to come, right?
All right. If you're not going to give an answer that sides with Rick, what would you give?
You sure the hell not going to say Jalen Hurst. I know that.
Probably was not going to say Jalen Hurts. I was trying to think actually who.
If that's okay. Like Anthony Richardson was a conversation Rick and I had offline, but he won't admit to now. But I think Anthony was better coming out than as a passer than Jalen Milroe is right now. Obviously, he went top 10, so that had something to do with